Question number 4, the Honourable Marama Davidson.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Prime Minister, does he have confidence in all of his ministers?
Absolutely, and especially all our ministers taking action to promote growth and investment across our economy, as you've just heard. Just take Fast Track, it's now open for applications for regionally and nationally significant projects. We've got roads, we've got energy, we've got housing, quarries and aquaculture. More than 100 projects that will make a big difference to our economy. And it doesn't stop there, because applications are now also open for projects with significant regional or national benefits. It's all part of our plan to get the economy moving again, and I can't wait to see many of those projects kick off, and I hope the Greens support them.
Does he have confidence in the Minister for Child Poverty Reduction to meet child poverty targets, considering the Salvation Army's State of the Nation report found that in the past year, most of the indicators monitored showed worsening or unchanged outcomes for children and youth?
Absolutely, and that's why this year's budget package takes 17,000 children out of poverty compared to the last year of the Labor Greens government, which put 23,000 more children into poverty.
How can he have confidence in the Minister for Children, considering she is repealing the protections for Tamariki Māori in Section 7AA of the Oranga Tamariki Act, despite the Salvation Army finding that Tamariki Māori still make up more than 2/3 of children in care?
Well, the clause is being repealed because we want the paramount focus to be on the safety and safeguarding of a child. That matters above and beyond everything else. And I just say to the member, I'm also very proud to see in the Salvation Army report that youth offending is coming down, which that minister's been a great advocate for.
How can he have confidence in the Minister for Māori Development when the material hardship rate for Tamariki Māori was found to be more than twice the rate for European children?
Because that minister, Minister Potaka, has done an exceptionally good job getting almost 2,000 children out of motel accommodation in emergency motels. And he has also delivered $200 million recently to Māori social housing. And what was the record of a Labor Greens government for that member who was responsible for homelessness? A lot of reports, but in 12 months, Minister Potaka has got it done. And I think the opposition should just simply say, thank you, well done, Tama Potaka, getting 2,000 children out of motels, bringing the households from 3,151 down to 591. Thank you, Tama Potaka. That's all that's needed.
Just wait while everyone is quiet.
Is he confident in his Minister of Social Development when in 2024 her response to questions regarding funding for food banks was, quote, "If we're serious about dealing with the cost of living crisis, we have to pull government spending back," end quote. And if so, will he then admit that it is his government's decisions that led to sharply worsening food insecurity in 2024?
Well, again, what has created difficulty and hardship for New Zealanders has been economic mismanagement from a Labor and Greens government that let inflation get out of control, drove interest rates up, put the economy in recession, and helped people lose their jobs. We care about people. If you cared about working people, I don't remember the Greens or the Labor Party supporting tax relief or working for families relief recently. I don't remember you actually supporting the more funding that's going into healthcare. I don't remember you actually supporting the more support going to Māori social housing.
Yeah, just moderate the use of the word "you" in this case.
Bring the Speaker.
Have me quite concerned.
Apologies.
Does he have confidence in the Minister of Housing to build 1,000 net new public homes in Auckland in 2026?
Yeah, look, he's built 2,000 houses already. But what I'd say to you is, what he's not going to do is that housing was an abject failure under the last government.
Point of order.
Point of order, Honourable Kieran McAnuff.
Thank you, sir. We need your guidance in this instance. When we have a minister, and in this instance the Prime Minister, making claims that he knows is not true, blatantly not true, in this House, what measures do we have to be able to pull this up? We cannot rely on him to come and correct it. We know that it's not true. What can we do?
Well, yep.
To the point of order, Given the remark was made about apparently me, though that number is correct, and I invite the member to go to the government housing.
That's not. That may or may not be helpful. The point is that I can't sit here and know exactly whether a number relating to any one of the 70-odd portfolios that ministers administer is correct. But if but the member will know that the process is that if someone is alleged to have misled the House, then writing to the Speaker is the process so that we can actually look into it and come to appropriate conclusions. Marama Davidson.
Speaking to the point of order, Mr. Speaker, to clarify, the question relates specifically to 1,000 net new additional public homes in Auckland in 2026.
Well, it should have stated so.
It did.
Mr. Speaker, it did.
Well, then ask the question again.
I will. Thank you. Does he have confidence in the Minister of Housing to build 1,000 net additional new public homes in Auckland in 2026?
Yes, and we're on track to do that. But what we will not be doing is driving up house prices 50%, adding $180 of rent per week, having a fourfold increase in the social house wait list, and putting 3,000 to 4,000 families into motel accommodation in emergency motels. We care about New Zealand's most vulnerable folk, and we want to help them out of those situations, and that's what we're doing.